Naver Corporation is South Korea development company. It was founded by a former Samsung employee in 1999. The headquarters are located in Seonam, South Korea. For their product and services, they develop service based on core search engine that is called Naver. It has been improved and optimized, as you can see in the picture below. The Naver website have a lot of picture related news, and it is in a Korean language. It's quite different from Google itself. Next is Junior Naver. It based on children's search engine, and it has a parental control service to block harmful video and improper video. Other than that, Naver Corporation have developed a webtoon that is an online comic platform. Lastly, VLive was introduced as a global streaming platform for celebrities in South Korea to communicate with their fans. They provide subtitles services to enable global fans to understand more on what their celebrity has said.
Advantages. Naver Corporation has unwavering effort to improve user convenience. Naver have been focusing on combining search technology developed over the past decade to come up with a new human-friendly search engine. And that's why Google can dominate search in Korea, although they hold 80% of global search market. Naver has often been ahead of Google. Naver began providing different types of search results before Google Universal Search appeared. Next, for the geographical of the Korea, by numbering up to 30 million on a daily basis, Naver Mobile provide a content topic board that connect a serious personal area for their customer. And last but not least, for the market engagement, the engagement with Yahoo Japan will bring synergy in various areas, including e-commerce and payment, and it will help to raise value of Naver by 3 to 4 trillion won.
Main challenges and difficulties that are being faced by Naver Corporation is that Naver Corporation are facing difficulties in providing services to the people in South Korea. This is because there are so many other foreign companies that run the same business product and services as Naver Corporation. Furthermore, South Korea has always been a test bed for new information technology. In 2017, Naver Corporation faced a stricter antitrust regulation by the South Korea financial authorities, with 4 other companies, which are Nexon Co., Mobile Construction Co., SM Group, and Dongwon Group. If according to the regulation, Naver Corp need to properly disclose important issues such as major board decision and all financial transactions. If they fail to comply with the stricter regulation, they will be penalized by the South Korea Financial Authority.
The technique used to measure the level of internalization is the proportion by dividing the total foreign sale to the total sales of Naver Corporation. Has the majority of the contribution of the country's sales come from the subsidiary from Japan, followed by the USA, Taiwan, France and China. As we can see in the table, the level remained constant in the recent year for 30%. 2017 indicate 31%, and the factor contribute to this change because of the dual listing of its subsidiary in 2016 and through acquisition of the company, as well as the establishment of 2 new companies. However, the level of proportion decreased by 1% at 30% in 2018 as the factor contribute through the merger with Cam Mobile and establishing a joint AI research lab with the Hong Kong University. The pattern back on track in the 2019, recording the same proportion in 2017 at 31%. Naver Corporation is deeply invest globally toward the success of internalizations.
The first primary sources of financing is lease. The group leases various properties, equipment, vehicles, circuits, and internet lines to operate their business. It is under non-callable operating lease agreements, which the lease contracts are made for fixed periods of 1 to 36 years, but may have extension. Currently, the total cash outflow and inflow for leases 2019 were 248,951 million and 262 million in Korea won respectively. Next is derivative instrument. It is initially recognized at fair value on the date when a derivative contract is entered and is subsequently readjusted at their fair value at the end of each reporting period. Since the group runs the business internationally, it is exposed to foreign exchange risk, primarily with respect to the US dollar and the Japanese yen.
In this slide shows two primary sources and also the secondary sources. For the primary sources, we have equity instruments and also the borrowing. For the equity instruments, the Naver Corporation Group measured all equity instruments at the fair value. For the borrowing is to receive money from another party with the agreement that the money will be repaid. Okay, next is the secondary sources that we have is the SBA cap line. SBA cap line is the small business administrations that offer a several loan program to small business owner nationwide. Naver Corporation launched a loan service for a small online store on 1 December 2020. They designed an exclusive loan service for small business to sell their product in online.
The main financial market risk for Naver is about the foreign exchange. Since they operate globally, they are very vulnerable to foreign exchange. This is because the net profit of the company is determined by the rate of exchange. It is strongly influenced by the US dollar and Japanese yen. Global business are likely to be eager to see how the latest US-China conflict will impact exchange rate. Okay, the main factor for Naver Corporate include falling short of market expectation, taking a longer than anticipated period to complete the planned merge between Line Corporation and ZEC Holding, and overpaying for future acquisition that do not generate value for each shareholder. The goal of managing the financial market risk is to create a new cooperative model in the content and e-commerce market.
Next, for the financial market risk and the strategies to manage its financial market risk, the one way to manage financial market risk is by managing their investments. So Naver should always weigh the risk before making any market decision, so that to make sure that they are in safe environment. They also need to be prepared to seize the opportunity when the market prices move to a level that allows them to initiate a position that they could not do in a normal market. Next, CJ and Naver could further extend Korean content in global markets, such as the ability of CJ in Webtoon and Web Novel to develop and generate top-notch content. Next, Naver also aims to buy a stake in TV, a video-on-demand subscription-based service that was recently spun off CJ in a bid to boost Netflix competitiveness.
Naver Corporation merged three companies. First, Naver merged the Han Game Communication in year 2000. Next, Naver merged the NHS Japan Naver Japan Life Door into new subsidiary company named as NHS Japan 2012. Then Naver merged Wishcam Mobile in 2018. Naver also made the acquisition. First, Naver acquired the Gogolo in 2013. Gogolo is smartphone application line whose call for identify caller ID and message. Naver acquired the Gogolo because Gogolo has important data processing know-how. Since Naver take over the Gogolo, the share price has more than doubled because the line whose call made a famous chat application. Then Naver acquired Xerox Research Center Europe in 2017. This acquisition happened because Naver hoped to tap into Xerox's advanced research technology to strengthen its research arm Naver Lab in developing technology. When Naver take over the Xerox, it made them to expect it to create great synergy because Xerox is research expertise.
Naver Corporation have a three initiatives to go green. For the first one, achieving global standard PUE. To reduce energy consumption and maintain the power of users' effectiveness, PUE level at close to the 1. The more closest to the 1, the more efficient data center. Is recycle and environment-friendly energy, which is water-saving sanitary ware and recycle wastewater for flushing and urinal. Also, store the rainwater for the gardening and firefighting. Last one is a green factoring, which is Naval Corporation office building was designed to save energy. And also, staircase display the number of calories burned by walking upstairs instead of taking the elevator.